Welcome back to the channel again, guys. We're working on this Citroen C5 Aircross 2-litre diesel 2019 20 plate, something like this. It's the 2-litre diesel, as we've said, and it's coming up with emission fault, engine management light. In your case, you may lose power, it may not. Your Adblue's fully topped up, and you're getting this warning. So reality is what we say. We've plugged it in, obviously, and you've got all these issues, right? These are what's coming up. It's very common. I'm only going to give guidance. This is not a way of fixing things, guys. So the sensor, I'm just going to get down, is around here. It's the urea sensor, so the Adblue sensor, which, let me see if I can get a better clear crystal image. So it's a bit difficult to get to, but you've got it there underneath. So you'll have to take the engine mount off. Engine cover underneath. So take that off, and this is an image of what it actually looks like and where it is. Just behind here at the very back. Around the back. It'll be far easier to get to it from the underneath. As we said, that was the image. Now, not just Citroen, Citroen, Peugeot, most of the other cars are very similar to this issue. Audi, VAC cars. What you can do, this sensor solidifies, it crystallizes in other words. So the Adblue crystallizes, causes the sensor not to function as it should, and it triggers these faults. A few ways around it. Cheapest option, take the sensor off. It literally is a DIY job. I will put the link in as well for the O2 sensor removal kit in the description below. You can take it off, clean it, put it back, do a reset, but you'll need a diagnostic machine like this, otherwise it's not going to work. That's first thing, okay? If that works, happy days. Secondly, if that doesn't work, then that same sensor, replace it with OEM original sensor, otherwise it's not going to work, okay? Once you've replaced it with the original OEM sensor, again, reset it, which I will show you guys how to do in a sec, and hopefully should cure it. That's the way. This is all legally done, okay? The other way you can do it is remap. Remap, obviously, it's down to your discretion. It's down to you what you want to do. But when you remap it, you can delete the Adblue system, which, to be fair, I know most people have done. I'm not going to say I recommend it, but that's what people do nowadays. It'll probably cost you around 150 quid, same price as the sensor, and it eliminates everything. The Adblue system goes, and then, yes, the DPF may clog up, but reality is, do a long motorway run once a week, twice a week, give it a good run. That's just diesel for you guys. But yeah, reality is these all relate back to that sensor that's down at the exhaust. It's just at the bottom. Again, the DPF pressure sensor will also crystallize. It'll cause all this issue as well, all because of that main sensor, which is where the Adblue tank is. It kind of goes through the hose pipes and goes all the way down into the sensor, and the sensor drops them droplets of Adblue liquid into the exhaust to clean the DPF, but reality is it just causes this issue. So let's move on and see what we can do with the diagnostic machine as well. Inside the car, so we'll turn it on, and we have this one, which is not a problem. Let the rest of the things come on, so we'll get engine management light on, there we are, and then we will get the emissions in a second, there we are. And this is the result we're in. Sometimes it'll have you in a lockdown mode with a range of mileage, and you can't go past that, otherwise the car will not start. If that's your case, again, you'll need a diagnostic machine like this. I'm using the iCar Soft CR Ultra P, which we're going to go through, and we shall reset the sensor that's been refitted. First, make sure the ignition is on. So turn the ignition on, and then we'll just do a clear DTC anyway, just to erase all the fault codes, and we'll just see what comes back positive, just out of curiosity. You can see with the full scan and clear, this is the result we get. And if we do this, it's probably going to not come up until we do a drive, and then it's going to detect again. But that's not what we need. We need to delete it and erase it properly using this machine. So, recommendation: hit the enter button into the engine section, turn the ignition on as we've said, and you've got special functions, and then you can do service action, and then you can work on the emissions, because that's what we need. And then you've got these reinitialization of the Denox system faults, filling of the Euro. What we recommend, do this, like do all of them, okay? The particle filter, we don't need that, but we're just going to do these. It just kind of eliminates, switch off the ignition, wait for the end of power, okay? So we shall switch off the ignition. It just kind of eliminates the fault codes, because sometimes it doesn't work just by doing one of them. So that's that. It's fine, so we'll do this. These are just ways of resetting it, guys. So I'll switch off ignition. This is exactly like Ford and Jaguar or Land Rover, where you have to turn the ignition on and off. It just kind of registers it, in other words. So take a few minutes, but just do them, tick them all off. Once all done, then you just do off another full scan and clear, and just go for a thorough drive. Done, dusted. That's how easy it is, guys. There's nothing complicated about it. They were the options that I gave earlier. And if you're going to get the sensor and do it the proper way, I guess, please make sure it's OEM and original. Otherwise, you're going to be in the same boat in circles. So if Mark just brings it around. So what you've got in the previous times, what you used to have was a solid light, engine emission light on. You wouldn't turn off. As you can see, after changing the sensor, everything's back to normal and fine. This was one of the faults, one of the few faults, but that's what the reality is. That's what causes it. But as you can see, we're doing this sort of speed, no issues, full power's there, and we'll do more drive as well to confirm. But that's how you do it, and that's how you would use the machine, guys.